Hello YouTube, I'm Matthew. This is
Santiago.
Santiago. On this channel we do drawing, and we're gonna sit and do like a 20-minute drawing, and we're both illustrators, and gonna ask Santiago a little bit about his life and illustration, and you can draw along with us. We're in a beautiful landscape, and you can draw whatever you want. You can draw what we're drawing, which is the landscape, or you can draw what's on your desk, or your feelings, or anything that's going on. I'm gonna put on a hat, so you might not see my face so well, but it is blazing out here in this lava field. Why don't you tell us where we are?
We are currently at Pedregal, which is a zone at the south part of Mexico City. This is my favorite spot ever in the city, and it is quite a big city that has a lot of different landscapes, as you probably have seen already. But this one in particular, I think it's lovely because of the accumulation of lava from a volcano that made eruption maybe 3,000 years ago, the Xitle volcano. So it has really determined like this whole landscape, and this particular place, which is called Espacio Escultórico, which is like the space of the sculptures. These were giant sculptures made for the 1968 Olympics in Mexico City, and this is all within the university campus. So it's very wild. I really loved all the textures and colors that you can find here. So yeah, it's a really good place to draw.
The sculptures are incredible. There was like one that was like giant triangles. There were some that were these metal circles. And I recently saw a risograph book. Maybe I can put a photo of it here. That's a collection of all the different ones throughout Mexico City. And there's even a group that's working on preserving them, I think.
Yeah, like all of this really needs a lot of maintenance, and it has gone a little bit undercared for a while, but I think
that's also part of the beauty.
It's part of the beauty. I think it's an interesting balance to try to preserve all of this natural landscape doing what it does naturally, but at the same time not letting it absolutely consume everything. But it is a really, really lovely place. There's a lot of like local fauna that can only be found here. There's a lot of possums and snakes and all sorts of lizards. So yeah, and also a lot of cacti, which I believe it's a plural for cactus.
A lot of dangerous rocks.
And a lot of dangerous rocks.
I just fell and cut my hand.
Sharp edges everywhere.
So do you draw a lot of landscapes?
I've started to do it recently. I think I've had a notion or a weird habit of just working on doing like a central element and not really drawing everything around it. But since last year, I've started taking small walks around my place and just doing drawings of different houses, places. So I've grown a lot more fond of landscaping, and even like I think when I was younger, I would dismiss a little bit like paintings of landscapes. You know, I would think they were like grandmother's paintings or something. But now I've become more interested in them. There was a Mexican painter called Jose Maria Velasco who there's an exhibit of his right now in the Mexico City Center, and he would draw all these landscapes that have become a really valuable document to record how the city has changed, because he made these paintings in like the end of the 1800s, I think, or maybe the beginning of the 1900s. So through his paintings you can really see how much the city has changed. And yeah, I think I've become more and more interested in landscape.
It's funny how those things change as you get older entirely. Like I used to not be into pastels. I used to not be into landscapes. I used to be like, that's not, why not just take a photo? But then you're like, but a photo, sometimes it doesn't capture the soul. It's really good photos do, but paintings sometimes capture something that's ineffable,
Yeah, I do think that there is, the reason why I've started really liking this painter's works is that you can sort of follow his observation of these particular places. There is something very lovely, I think, of someone sitting down and trying to articulate all these different elements that are so rich that, yeah, if you take a picture, you'll take it all as a whole. But as you start drawing it or painting it, you really begin to observe all these different elements and components that in some bring together a particular feeling of being in a particular space like this one. So yeah, I've grown more accustomed to drawing landscapes. It does still overwhelm me a little bit. It takes me a little bit of time to just sit down and kind of decide where to start and how to take it all in, because there's so much.
This, which you probably can't see from the video, is a circle. We're surrounded by these almost like teeth that are angular, almost in a Star Wars like structure, like where you can imagine a landing pad for a spaceship. And then at the same time, it's almost done in that concrete brutalist style from the 1960s, 70s.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised I haven't seen this in movie set yet. This is very...
Yeah, it's very psychedelic in a way, right? It feels like something out of like
trippy.
a Jodorowsky movie or something like that, or like when you look at the that Dune film that was going to be made by Jodorowsky like in the 70s, that you can totally get this kind of vibe, like spaceship kind of futuristic vibe, or like Dune or something like that.
Bizarre, and it's like a perfect circle.
Yeah, it's lovely how it's this perfect circle that encapsulates or contains this apparently chaotic interior of these volcanic formations.
It's almost as if it was intended to be abandoned.
Yeah.
You know, like... yeah, it just is gorgeous. And the trees behind it, wow. So we're going to do a drawing here, and then we might move to another location in case this gets too hot, because we are roasting.
Yes, we are mortals, and we do cook under the sun. What's the hottest place you've been to?
Cambodia. I was accidentally in Cambodia in the summer, and it's no joke, because I didn't realize their summer is springtime. Like April, May, and then they get their rainy season. And it's like in Celsius, I think high 40s, mid 40s.
Yeesh.
But it's like 90% humidity. Really, just being in the soup.
Well, that sounds lovely.
Yeah. Do you like humidity?
No, not really. Well, I don't know. I think I've run away from it for a while, but in the end, I do love this feeling of when there's a lot of vegetation around. I love it. I think it's wonderful. I really want to go to Veracruz this year, which is a very to the most tropical parts, which is extremely humid. I probably wouldn't live in such a humid place, but taking a trip to...
I might live in somewhere humid. It might happen to me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do love the jungle. But I also love the desert. I don't know. There's so many landscapes I love. I wanted to ask you, so you're a full-time illustrator, right?
I am.
And how do you normally find your gigs, or how do they find you?
Well, unfortunately, when people ask me like for advice, I can only tell them that I think I've been pretty lucky. I think I started using Instagram in Mexico when it was just like a new thing, and I didn't even know at the time that it would be like a good platform to showcase, the stuff I was doing on my day-to-day or drawing every day. But I think as I grew older and people who were following me grew older and needed stuff like illustrated stuff, they started contacting me. And yeah, most of it just comes from Instagram and just kind of networking a little bit. When I work with someone, I usually try to showcase some of that. If I really like it, I'll put it on my website or whatever. And yeah, stuff just kind of naturally comes. I don't know how long that will happen. I've been also a bit worried of depending too much on Instagram or on social networks.
You can't trust any of them. They change their algorithm and you get, stuck with them.
Yeah.
Been hard for me, definitely.
Yeah, what do you use?
Everything. Emailing art directors, Instagram, word of mouth, friends, talking to people, hustling. You always got to be hustling.
Yeah, I've been quite lucky in that sense that I've sent my portfolio to some places, but I've never really gotten any gigs out of that. But just like talking to people, which is something that I don't do enough. I don't go out that much, but I should, because usually when talking to new people, I can sometimes get new jobs. Yeah, I do that. I sell some of my stuff, and there are sometimes there are like little fairs or stuff, and I'll sell some original drawings. But to be honest, I don't really have a reliable and constant flow of income, because it's very unpredictable.
I think that's pretty normal for artists.
Yeah, I think it's good to be able to be a little calm when nothing's coming up, and be able to advance in at least my personal projects. I think that also has worked in my favor, because as I work on things or experiment with new materials and stuff, I showcase that, and sometimes we'll find someone who will see that and say, well, I'd like to do something like that for this article or this whatever. So I think it's really important to keep experimenting and working on your own stuff.
What's your go-to drawing? Like when you're doodling, what's your go-to doodle?
Well,
do you have one?
I used to draw. I still love to draw animals, and I will usually start drawing an animal. But these days, I think I've tried to become more humble, in the sense that I try to draw whatever is around me, and I've realized that many of the things that surround me usually become far more interesting as I start observing them and drawing them. So now I'm not that afraid of taking my sketchbook anywhere and just drawing and sitting there and drawing, because I used to be a little self-conscious of that in the past, but now I don't feel that.
You know, I'm always saying on this channel, like, becoming good at art is about making a lot of bad art, and that there is no bad art, that there's just making it. You just got to make it.
Yeah. Because in the end, I think even if you don't succeed maybe you have the goal of creating a particular piece or something, but even if you don't succeed at that, I do believe that there is value in just taking in information and observing things. Like, there is a sort of internal library that you start to build upon as you start drawing more and more things. And if you draw things that maybe aren't within your particular interest, I don't know. It's like, I don't really like sports that much, but for some reason I've started liking to draw people doing like athletics or football or boxing.
Oh, wow. I've drawn some boxers.
You have?
Yeah.
For like a job or for personally?
No, for fun. It's hard. I like drawing skateboarders. They're fun to draw because they get in these like crazy poses. But you know what I have trouble drawing? Kids, babies. Like people because they have such weird proportions.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been avoiding that, and I need to stop avoiding it as much.
Yeah, you need to go to more parks and sit and look at children. No, I'm kidding.
It's true in the least creepy way possible, yes.
No, but
I agree.
But I'll say something that...
They move so fast, too.
They move so fast, and as a society, and this is obviously a good thing, we don't support just looking at children, which is good. But I also think that, again, coming back to this idea of becoming very, very self-conscious when I'm drawing, I think we do have the right to look at things just to observe them and make notes about them. Because, with any subject, I think there is the possibility that it will change while you're drawing it. That's why landscapes are a really good way to practice. But as you're drawing either children or people doing sports or whatever, I've started doing like this, I call them like drawing notes, like just these really quick lines to kind of get an essence of whatever, because unless you take a picture, it will be really hard to really capture that. But children are hard, and like their faces are very difficult to do as well, because you don't have that many like wrinkles or really clear lines as you'll get in someone who's a bit more adult. So
they don't have as many like moles or distinguishing features. Sometimes they do. Sometimes they're like wearing goofy glasses, but not if you're lucky.
As children do, yeah.
Or on a tricycle or something, that helps.
Yeah, but it is weird how they
learn. You have to learn, because like if you want to be an artist, an art director will eventually be like, we want you to draw this thing because like it's this article about kids, or like I got asked to draw something for the Atlantic, and it was an article about like when is old enough to leave your kids at home alone.
Yeah.
And it's like, they want drawings of kids for that, and you never know what someone's gonna ask you to draw. And then you're like, fuck, I gotta learn.
Yeah, no, and it is very intimidating because I think everybody really needs to do an exercise. Well, everybody who wants to draw children needs to do an exercise of how that comes about, because if you add too much detail, they can become a little creepy.
They become so creepy so fast.
Yeah.
The uncanny valley is large for drawings of children.
And I think that is why I usually end up doing very cartoony children. And I think a lot of us do, because we're
hard
a bit
for it
afraid
not to look cartoony.
Yeah, because we don't want to lose that sort of playfulness and essence of childhood. So, yeah.
I think that's actually why Diego
good.
Rivera is so good sometimes.
Yeah.
He has he'll have these drawings of kids where you can like, sometimes you see a kid on the street in Mexico who's like selling something and you're like, damn, like this is a hard life. You know what I mean? Like, and he really captures that, where it's like, it's kids, they still look cute like a kid, but they're still like, you can tell that they're like in a moment.
Yeah.
He really captures that essence.
Yeah. Yeah, I think in this museum, I just forgot, Anahuacalli. Have you been to this museum?
I've been to Anahuacalli,
okay.
Of course.
Yeah, they have like those murals that are sketches, that are like the big sketches of different things. Yeah, you can tell that there is...
One of our videos is at Anahuacalli. If
really?
someone wants to draw that, if you want to draw that on this channel, click on the video.
Do it.
Yeah. It's an interview with my best friend, Shrestha. She's an architect. And so we went there.
Why is she your best friend?
Why is she my best friend?
Yeah.
She feels like family. It was the best friend I've made in the last 4 years. And it was like when I met her, it was like I've known her my whole life,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got that with some new friends as well, which is cool, because I think I was thinking that it would be really hard to make new friends, but
as you get older, the friends you make is very different.
Yeah, and it does change, like how often you can make friends, but I think fortunately this drawing thing has led me closer to more people who draw, and that has been very interesting for me, because I didn't go to like art school or didn't have a lot of drawing friends when I was growing up. So
when did you decide you were going to become an artist?
Well, I think I've always drawn. I went to university, studied communications, was intending to be a film director.
Ooh.
But then as I was doing some of the exercises and working on little short films and stuff, I realized it wasn't really what I wanted to do. Like, I love the medium, but it just wasn't for me. And in the end, I realized that I could still tell the stories that I wanted to by drawing them, and getting into that field of comic books, which I really enjoyed as a kid, and even when I was in film school I was still enjoying it. But
you're doing some storyboarding?
I didn't do that much storyboarding. I never did, and I still haven't. I have some friends who are working like and doing commercials and stuff,
it's
and brutal. I haven't done. Is what?
It's brutal.
I bet it's like a lot of drawings in a really short time and a lot of corrections, probably, right?
Yeah, I haven't done it, but I mean, I've written a graphic novel, a couple, and I can't imagine doing it for someone else, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. But I will probably try at some point. I have a friend who wants to do a short film, and that will probably be a good way to get into the rhythm and demands of that. But yeah, I think it was in university when I realized that I didn't like filmmaking as much as I liked watching films, that I kept drawing, and then some gigs started coming about because of Instagram, and then, I don't know, it just sort of happened.
I always tell people when I have students, it's like don't just like do what you want to do, because that is what you will end up doing. Like, if you do a job that you don't like for money, like, you will ultimately end up doing a job you don't like.
Yeah.
Like, like, there's so many jobs that I wish I'd known about when I was younger.
Such as?
Like location scout for films.
Oh.
I didn't even know that. Like there's somebody's job who's just to come here and be like, this is cool.
Yeah.
Or like, I need to go to 10 shopping malls. Like that person's got a dope job. Or like, I don't think I really understood what an industrial engineer was.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
like design for like teapots or stuff like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
There's so many jobs I just didn't understand what they were.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that you could get them. Like voice actor.
Oh, that's so funny. I was going to say that as well. I really like voice acting.
Like if I had started voice acting literally in college or even stand-up comedian, like any of that stuff, like if you start that and then do it for 30 years or 20 years, like you might not become like famous, but you'll become like pretty decent.
Yeah, just because of experience.
Just because of doing it, yeah. Which is almost shocking to me how much that is true.
I think that I also think when I think about all the whole filmmaking thing, I also come to the conclusion that I don't think I was that passionate about it, or at least not in a sense that, like, again, my university was like a degree in communications with, you could specialize in film. But I think I was sort of waiting for that day in which I would start making movies rather than, take a camera for myself and just start recording my own stuff. And I never did that. I did that with drawing. I would do like all these stories and write a lot. But taking a camera and asking my friends to get together and start making, like a short film or whatever, that didn't happen that much. And
one of the beautiful things about drawing is you can just do it.
Yeah. And it's like you don't have to, come up with $1 million to shoot.
I mean, there are people like
graphic
John
novel.
Wilson, who like really, just film, with their hand. And I don't know if you've seen that show, How to with John Wilson. But
I haven't seen it, but as I've grown older, I think
Yeah.
that is more of the style of thing I'll probably do. Not like this,
fine finished,
or like this super,
like this YouTube channel.
like this YouTube channel. Like this is pretty great, and I love doing graphic novels and doing my own stuff. So, yeah.
Other people. Hola.
Hola.
These rocks are hard to draw.
Yeah.
It's
Are
hard
you
to
doing? Oh, you're using your marker. Yeah.
You're doing great. I love yours.
Thank you. But yeah, it's really hard to try to get all.
So many details. It's
So
an
many
insane
details because
amount
you
of
got the
detail.
grass, you got the texture of the rocks, you got all these highlights and contrasts, which are beautiful. But yeah, it's a lot of information. The new comic book I want to do, there's a giant which is made from.
So you have a lot of detail and you're really fast. You have a very loose. I like your style.
You think?
Yeah, it's very you almost hit these patterns with your motion. Very, very cool.
When do you think you started using your own style? Was it something conscious, or was it like something that you?
So I've always doodled in this style in my in class or whatever. I doodle in this style, and then what I always tell my students is that if you saw your mother's handwriting, you'd recognize your mom's handwriting, and that at the core of everyone is a drawing style essence.
Yeah.
And that if you just do it enough, eventually that comes out, because some part of you is lazy and just like you're not gonna like. Everyone has that balance of detail to where they get tired, and that it's finding that balance of like what is enough for you.
Yeah.
And that if you do it enough, you'll be like, no, this is the amount that I like. And that's just a process of chipping away. Like, like the way that like the old masters talk about like the image being inside the stone. Like, I think that's true for your drawing style. It's just like, it's there just like your handwriting.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned the handwriting, because it's something that I also mention a lot when I'm doing like workshops of how drawing has this beautiful and unique essence of someone that even when doing writing, which is, taking words that we all know, that we are using a common language, you are producing it through the gesture of your body, which leaves this mark, which also can have like sentimental value for you as a son or someone who's related to that. And that's so powerful in a way. And that can also happen with drawing. It's just like being able to see the uniqueness of someone observing and using their body to, put down on paper an observation of something or an opinion of something. Because in a way, you do have, I think you express your views on something depending on how you draw it. And maybe we are not that familiarized with examining what it is that we are thinking about, that what we're drawing. But as you grow older and start drawing, the more you start drawing, you begin to observe a little bit more of your line, or at least I do. And this is like my most accessible way of drawing. It's like really loose and really fast. But I think I like to change. Oh, my foot just got a little, yeah.
You did cramp? You want to stretch?
No, it got numb.
Oh, you
It's gonna
want to
hurt
do
a little bit.
You can do a stretch.
No, I'll just let the blood flow slowly. But yeah, I can barely feel it. Anyway, yeah.
No, stand up to a stretch. We can do a stretch break. It's good. It's good for the viewers.
Okay. No, I just
Yeah,
do
lift
this.
your hamstring.
Yeah.
God, yeah, I get them too. Eat bananas, folks. Get your potassium up.
Yeah.
We're getting old.
Yeah. But I'm enjoying the experience.
More than I thought I would.
Yeah. Like I'm a very shy person. Well, maybe I'm not that shy anymore. I keep saying that, and I kept saying that for a while, but I think I've grown more confident in what I am and not trying to aspire to be something else, and just grown perhaps more interested in trying to focus on what I care about and the things and topics that I care about. And I know that by drawing them, I feel more closer to them, which is great. Like sometimes I'm looking for books that are about trains or whatever because I'm trying to do a drawing of a train, and I feel as if I'm studying in a way for something that maybe won't matter to anyone else, but it's cool to feel that you're on the right track of your own interests. So that's something that I've gained with time.
You know what I like about being older?
What? Cursing.
Yeah, all the F-bombs. But no, that people don't. I feel like before when I was younger, you'd say you're an artist, and they'd be like, "Oh, cool, but like, what do you do?" Like, they'd be like, "Oh, like, how do you make money, etc."
Yeah.
Like, but now that I'm older and people are like, "What are you?" I'm like, I'm an illustrator, I'm an artist," and then they're like, "Okay, cool," and they like leave you alone.
Yeah.
it's just like once you get past 30 or something and you say you're an artist, they're just like, well.
This person probably is committed to whatever.
Yeah, it's not as much
things.
like, oh, like, where are you a barista?
Yeah.
Which I appreciate. I feel like when I was younger, there was a lot of questioning of if you were really doing what you say you were doing.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a good life, I think. At least I do feel that whenever I do go out and just do a lot of drawing, I feel really productive, but not productive in a capitalist sort of way of producing something that has, monetary value. Is just.
It's true.
And it's good
less
because
and less monetary value as we go.
Yeah, which is a shame for our bellies, which may grow filled with hunger. But in the long run, I do think that these things that we do just for the heck of it are ways of creating abilities and having, again, more resources in your mental stock of beautiful things to project. And then I think
it's good to be a little delusional.
It is, because I think when people do hire me to do some illustrations, it's cool to know that some of them, not all of them, like some people will just be looking for a generic drawing of something, and that's okay, that's part of the job as well. But when they do contact you and are expecting something from you, it's cool that they are, in a way, hoping to get some of that which you devote so much time to, which does not produce that much money, but it moves you, and hopefully it will move someone else if they collaborate with you or whatever. So yeah, drawing.
Drawing is great.
What a concept.
It's good. It's good. Oh my god, I'm really going for it.
Yeah.
I don't know if I got these squares are hard to draw. The perspective on them is hard, but
Aren't they? Yeah. But I love it. I think it's
do.
wonderful. I think you get the contrast between those like straight lines and the more organic shapes of the volcanic rocks. I did not get to see if at the end of the video you like show the drawings.
I always show the drawings.
Oh, okay.
So
That's
we'll
good.
show the drawings.
Oh, great. Excellent.
I think, are you almost done with yours? How much
Yeah.
more time you want?
Give me 3 minutes.
3 minutes? Okay, I can
Maybe
take 3
less.
minutes more. Where can people find you online?
And my handle is at Santiago Moyao, and yeah. And I have a website, which is santiagomoyao.com, where you can also see some of my comics, short form comics.
Can they order your stuff? Do you have any prints up there?
I do not. I am such a slacker. I haven't really devoted enough time and effort to trying to move.
It's not a very monetary. I mean, honestly, selling prints is not. It's not made me any money.
Yeah.
It's
I
hard.
haven't done that. But it's okay. It's okay. You don't need it. You don't need my prints in your life.
But if you want some art from him, send him an email. You know, he's a gun for hire.
Yeah. Okay.
No stress.
Done.
Here's what I drew.
Here's what I drew. Can you see it? I bet you
With the
can't.
magic of editing, it will be on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
If you drew anything to this channel, send it along. I will share it, and we would both love to see that. It would be a delight. Anything you want to say?
Keep drawing.
Keep drawing. Don't stop drawing.
This video may end, but you will still be drawing.
It's
I
good
hope
for
will.
you.
Yeah.
It's like meditation.
Vitamin D.
Yeah. Good for your soul. AI can't do it. Can't take it from you. Well, thank you for joining me.
No, thank you.
Love y'all. Bye. Besos.